So today we're going to be talking about the impending real estate crash, right? Oh my goodness. And I think I need my TikTok algorithm changed because all I see is like guys in cars who are doing stuff like, hey, 2 million people are going to foreclose. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be 2008 all over again. Or there was one guy that was like, inflation, the number is the same as 2008. It's coming, the crash. And every time I see these, I just cringe because I'm like, oh God. I mean, I've done videos about this. 2008, the biggest reason it crashed was shady loans. But let's do some fun stuff anyways, because I know a lot of people think I'm a lender, so of course I'm gonna lie to you and tell you the housing market's perfect and there's an impending doom that I'm trying to hide. So what a lot of guys are saying is they're like, it's gonna be by the end of the year. By the end of the year, real estate is gonna be free. About that. Okay, so I pulled up some fun facts today. I love to research, and I just want to share with you guys something that people don't talk about. The foreclosure process in the United States is not fast. It's not fast in any way. So once these forbearance moratoriums are over, it's not like all of a sudden all these houses will be foreclosed on at the same time and it will be this massive, glut of real estate. So I pulled some numbers on the average time it takes for a foreclosure to go through the process, because it's not like the bank just sends a note and they get to like sell it. They have to go through courts in many cases. There's a huge process. This is not fast, okay? So this data is from 2019. The reason why I did 2019 is because nothing happened in 2020. So 2019 is our most realistic set of data in order to pull from, excuse me. In Hawaii, in 2019, the average amount of days it took to foreclose on a home is, do you guys know? You wanna guess? Who wants to guess? 1,626 days. 1,626 days. That is 4.5 years, guys. 4.5 years. So everyone who's like, I'm gonna wait till we get those Hawaii foreclosures, okay, see you guys in 5 years, if it even happens. Florida, 1,138 days. Nevada, 1,511 days. New York, 1,103 days. That is the average time to get a foreclosure through the system, okay? Okay. Maybe those are the longest states. Hawaii definitely is. What are the fastest? What is the fastest you guys could get a foreclosure if someone gets out of forbearance? Ready? Virginia at 201 days. 201 days. Guys, this is not a quick process. It's not. The second shortest was Montana at 217 days. Okay, so that is the average time it takes to get a foreclosure through the system. Now, add on top of that we are going to have an avalanche of evictions. That is true. People are not going to keep people in who haven't paid rent for multiple years in their properties. It would be very unusual for them to do so. So we're going to have the court systems dealing with an avalanche of evictions, and then you're going to have, I don't think there's going to be a lot of foreclosures, but then you're going to have the foreclosures. These time frames that I just gave you was based on a time of history where there weren't a avalanche of evictions. So for everyone who's staying out of the market because you think there's going to be free houses in a couple months or even in a year, guys, you're missing an opportunity. I actually was thinking today, and this is totally conspiracy, but I was like, are like the big investors paying people to do misinformation? Because I do talk to people where they're like, well, I'm going to wait because I saw XYZ said this and XYZ said this. And like, let's just play devil's advocate. Let's say that these huge wait times for foreclosures did not exist, okay? Let's say magically they would all hit the market in September or October, right? Guys, we talked about this. There are huge institutional investors, pension funds, buying up, gobbling up real estate. You don't think that they'll be on top of that within 2 seconds? Come on. If a bank had a big portfolio of foreclosures, do you think they're going to deal with putting it in the market one by one by one and devaluing their other assets? Or do you think they'll package it up in a pretty package and sell it to one of these institutional investors? what would you do? Would you put it on the market house by house by house? Or if you had 500 foreclosures, would you put them in a pretty package and sell them to institutional money that's got a check ready? It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. So for all of you guys who are sitting out of the market because you think it's going to be 2008 again, I'm really sorry, guys. I don't see how that's happening. I would love it. It would be awesome. I would go on a spending spree, right? But I don't think it's going to be happen. I don't see any of the factors there to make it happen. And beyond that, you know, I did look at the new forbearance stuff. Did you guys realize that if you hadn't filed forbearance yet, that you had up until June of this year to file it? This is for VA and FHA. And if you filed it in June of this year, 2021, you could be in forbearance for 18 months. That clock just keeps on going, right? And for conventional Fannie and Freddie, it was 2/28/21 that you had to file by, and then it gave you another 18 months, your first 18 months. For the people who were already in forbearance and are still in forbearance, they can qualify, they may be eligible for up to another 12 months. This isn't going away, and that's the thing. And like, as we see, you know, Delta variant and all this really fun stuff, you may see all these lovely moratoriums that are expiring come back into play. So if you guys are waiting to buy a house because you think it's going to be a free-for-all, I don't think so. Feel free to look up the data. Feel free to argue with me. I love a good argument, but the biggest argument you guys need to take into consideration is if there was this magical hill of foreclosures, why would the banks, why would the lenders, why would Fannie, why would Freddie sell them one by one if they could package it and sell it to an institutional investor? So if you guys need a house, I suggest getting qualified. Start looking. Don't buy a house just to buy a house. Buy a house if you need a house, if you want a house, and most importantly, if it fits your financial planning. So as always, I am licensed in 46 states. I am very passionate about real estate, a little scarily so. I'm always here to answer your guys' questions. Feel free to drop them in the comments or reach out. All my contact info is always everywhere. Thanks so much for watching, guys.